In 1914, the world walked into a war it did not understand, a war expected to last weeks, but instead destroyed empires, killed millions, and reshaped the modern world forever. This was not just a war of soldiers, it was a war of nations. Pride, fear, and power. This is the real story of World War I. Before the war, Europe looked peaceful on the surface, but underneath, it was full of tension. Four dangerous forces were growing. Nationalism. Countries believed they were superior. Militarism. Armies were expanding rapidly. Imperialism. Empires fought for land and resources. Alliances. Nations promised to defend each other. Europe had become a powder keg, waiting for a single spark. That spark came on June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was assassinated in Sarajevo. One bullet changed history. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia. Russia supported Serbia. Germany supported Austria-Hungary. France and Britain joined Russia. Within weeks, the world was at war. Germany launched the Schlieffen Plan, invading Belgium to defeat France quickly. But the plan failed. The war turned into a stalemate, and soldiers dug deep trenches stretching hundreds of miles. This became a new kind of war. Machine guns, poison gas, heavy artillery, endless trench warfare. Life in the trenches was hell, mud, rats, disease, and constant fear. World War I was not just fought in Europe. Battles spread across the Middle East, Africa, Asia, the oceans. The Ottoman Empire joined the war, and the Middle East was completely reshaped. Colonies were forced to fight for empires that were not their own. At first, the United States stayed neutral, but Germany's submarine attacks on ships and the Zimmermann telegram changed everything. In 1917, America entered the war. Fresh American troops gave new strength to the Allies. In 1918, Germany launched one final attack and failed. With no food, no allies, and no hope, Germany surrendered on November 11, 1918. The war was over, but the damage was unimaginable. Over 16 million dead. Entire cities destroyed. 4 empires collapsed. The Treaty of Versailles punished Germany harshly. Germany lost land, money, and dignity. This created anger, poverty, and revenge. Instead of peace, the treaty planted the seeds of World War II. When the guns finally fell silent, the world expected peace. Instead, it found chaos. Europe was broken. Economies collapsed. Millions of soldiers returned home traumatized. Cities lay in ruins. An entire generation was lost, later called the Lost Generation. People had survived the war, but they had lost faith in governments, leaders, and promises. World War I destroyed 4 powerful empires. German Empire. Germany lost the war, its emperor fled, and the nation fell into political chaos. Austro-Hungarian Empire. Once a massive empire, it broke into several new countries. Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia. Ottoman Empire. After 600 years of rule, the Ottoman Empire collapsed. The Middle East was divided by European powers with artificial borders. Borders that still cause conflict today. Russian Empire. The war pushed Russia into revolution. In 1917, Russia was starving, tired, and angry. The people rose up. The monarchy collapsed. And for the first time in history, a communist government took power. This created the Soviet Union, changing global politics forever. World War I didn't just change borders, it created new ideologies. The Allies wanted punishment, not reconciliation. Germany was blamed for the war and forced to accept full responsibility, pay massive reparations, reduce its army, lose valuable territory. This treaty humiliated Germany. The German people did not forget. They did not forgive. And this anger would soon be used by a dangerous man. Although World War I officially ended in 1918, its effects never stopped. Economic depression followed. Extremist ideas grew. Democracy weakened. Violence became normal. Many historians say, World War II was not a new war, it was World War I, continued. World War I introduced terrifying new weapons. Tanks, chemical gas, submarines, airplanes. War was no longer heroic. It was industrial, mechanical, and merciless. This war proved that modern technology could destroy humanity itself. Beyond numbers and maps, the real tragedy was human. Soldiers returned broken in mind and body. Families lost fathers, sons, and brothers. Entire towns disappeared. Poetry, art, and literature became dark and painful, reflecting the trauma of war. The world would never look at war the same way again. World War I began because of pride. It spread because of fear. And it ended with revenge. It taught the world that alliances can drag nations into disaster. Technology without wisdom is dangerous. Peace built on punishment never lasts. The First World War was not just history. It was a warning the world would soon ignore.